What's going on, guys? Welcome to another edition of Streamline, and I believe this is episode 16. Well, yeah, welcome to the 16th episode of Streamline, guys. Sorry I haven't been putting up in much on Streamline, but I'm doing it now, so enjoy it. All right, then. In this episode of Streamline, we are going to be talking about 3 subjects instead of 1. And one is going to be a possible sequel to the original RoboCop. The second one will be Black Widow TV series, and of course, X-Men. Should there be superhero costumes in the live-action movies? Now, going back to the RoboCop, I like RoboCop. I love the first 2 movies. The third movie, there's some things in it I kind of like, and most of it I don't like. Also, I like the reboot. I don't. It's not I do not care. It's not a remake to me. It's a reboot because everything that happens in that movie, almost none of it happens in the original. So to me, it's a reboot and not a remake. Although it does kind of have the same origin story for the character. He gets messed up by some criminals, but it's still a reboot in my eyes. Should there actually be a sequel to the original RoboCop? And my thoughts on that are, hell no. Why in the hell would you do that? The originals were good for their time. And I know people complain about the remake because they didn't like the actor, they didn't like the costume, the suit and everything. They didn't like the kind of like the social aspect behind it. It's like, should robots be used as like, cops and military and stuff like that? But I liked it because it was touching on things in a better way that the originals didn't, especially with the family. In the originals, I didn't give a damn about the mom, his wife or anything like that. To me, she was like a big douche. Yeah, this is your husband. He's, you know what I'm saying, and you just like skip Bell, which I can understand. The dude was dead, and now he's a big robot. Okay. But in the reboot, of course, you get more focus on his family. So you actually care about, how his family is actually dealing with this. And I like that. But should there be an actual sequel to them? No. I think they should focus their energies on a sequel to the reboot. There's no reason to... And I like Peter Weller. You know what I mean? But he does not need to come back as RoboCop. I mean, what is this going to be? RoboCop 30 years later? 40 years later or something? It ain't that old. It's like 30. Like 30 years later. And then the chick, she already died, and she was like one of the best characters in the series, which, again, that was really tragic, and that was one of the problems everybody had with the third movie. But I think she wanted her character to die off anyway, so... But... I think they should continue on with what they have now, the 2014 reboot, because it had a better story. And the guy, I can't remember the guy that played the character in the movie, played RoboCop in that movie. But I think this will give him a chance to give him time to adjust to the character a little bit more, make it his own rather than... like the fans wanted him to be more like Peter Weller's incarnation. I'm like, no, this totally different guy, totally different story. Shut the hell up. Give me a sequel and to this one. And I would love, because the Ed.16 things that they had in the reboot were awesome. I don't care what nobody says. Yes, for its time, it was good. But I do like the fact that this one made it modern, and it worked, in my opinion. Yes, problems was in it. There was problems in the original too. The Ed.16 look badass in the original, but the ones in the reboot were completely on another level, especially them action sequences, which I did find enjoyable. And also, if they're going to go with the reboot with the Ed.16s, if they come out with a sequel for this one, which I think they actually are greenlit to go with, will they be bringing back Kane? And if they are, I would love to see how his character will be brought to the forefront, be redesigned, redone, represented for like us nowadays. Because Kane back then was awesome, literally one of the best characters in the entire series. And I'm not talking about his human form, this drug philosophical drug addict guy who's, you know, that's a murderer. No, I'm talking about the robot. Robot was beast. But yes, if they're if they're going to do a sequel, do not do anything with the original. The original three, or leave them where they're at. Don't mess with that. You've already redone the series. You've already brought it, modernized it, and everything. There's no reason to go back to the original. I don't care what those fans say. The fans can kiss my butt. That's why we can't have good movies come out or remakes and reboots appreciated, because you have those type of fans that are like, you can't touch this. You can't do this. You're going to ruin my childhood. It's like, no, shut the hell up. I want to see a more modernized RoboCop. How about you consider my feelings? If you don't want to watch the movie, don't watch it. I'm actually interested in seeing it. But yes, if they're going to do any kind of sequel to any RoboCop movie, cut those other three off. They're fine. Leave them where they're at. And let's go with what we have right now on the 2014 one. That's the sequel I'm anticipating on. Not a throwback to these fans that just don't, want their precious. And because you know my mentality, I like to see things being brought in a new direction. I like to see things being redone. Granted, I want to see them be redone good, but I like to see stuff. I give stuff a chance that to be redone. The Power Rangers movie that came out last year, I liked it. It was a good story. I like the fact that they weren't just like normal, and then they all of a sudden getting their powers like this in Japan, which I never liked that. Like this Sailor Moon, you don't have none of your powers until you transform. Stupid. It's always been stupid to me. But what other ones? I like the Fright Night reboot that they did was great. I love the Total Recall, great. But I like when they do that. They take that chance. So they did a great job with those, and they did a great job with the RoboCop one. So if they're going to do a sequel for any RoboCop movie, it should be for the 2014. Now let's talk about the Black Widow TV series that's either possibly greenlit already, or being talked about, or in the works, or whatever. I'm actually interested to see it, because Black Widow is a character that's very mysterious, and yes, she has a lot of shine in the movies. And I will say this: Scarlett Johansson is gorgeous, and she fits that role. That is a beautiful woman. Damn, she looked good in that role. But as far as the television series, I'm interested, because I would like to see more about her origins. If they're going to go back to her origins, or if they're going to go with an espionage story, which is most likely is going to be. I would like to see that. Just like I would like to see other characters from the main continuum. If it's Hydra, I like to see Viper. If she's going to do an espionage story with Hydra or anything like that. I would like to see Hawkeye come back, and perhaps a sister. Not a sister. I meant assist her. I would like to see that as far as the television series. I would like to see a bit of character development. Does she have family? Are there other agents that went through the exact same program that she went into? And does she get to interact with them? So is she like the female version of James Bond, who's working with S.H.I.E.L.D., who is like the equivalent of MI6? And, I would like to see something on that scale. Of course, she can't fight no super-powered bad guys. Not like that, anyway, because she doesn't have powers. But if there's one thing the MCU has been doing, is more characters that don't have powers. They actually make them pretty relevant to almost every big event that's going on. In fact, the way that the Marvel movies have been portrayed, as far as the Avengers is concerned, they couldn't have done what they did without normal humans such as Nick Fury, such as Hawkeye, such as Black Widow. So I would like to see where they're going to go with a Black Widow story. Yes, origin. Give us a bit more to her character. Yes, in the MCU, you see that she can be sarcastic. She can be funny. You know, she could be serious. She's a great actress as she's acting as the character. You know, and you can see a bit of her emotional side. You see her happy and stuff like that. So I would like for them to explore that a bit more. I just recently watched the Punisher series. I can't see recently. I was like 2 months ago, but. And I liked that they dived into his character. Yes, the Punisher's badass, but I like that the way the series portrayed him. It's like he was still human, and I want to see that I want to see that same depth when it comes to her character. But as far as it being possibly an espionage story, I think that's the best way to go. I don't know much about Black Widow, but at the same time, I didn't know much about Luke Cage, Iron Fist, Punisher, Daredevil, Jessica Jones, or anybody from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I didn't really know too much about any of those characters, but I'm glad that I watched those shows because you get the introduction to them. If there's one character that should get some shine, it is Black Widow. But I don't think it should solely be Black Widow. I think that it should be something of Black Widow / Hawkeye. Because, again, this gives them... And then we can actually see these characters in their element. They're both spies to a certain... Well, I think she's more spy than him. But they're both assassins. They both got down and dirty and did some pretty off-the-wall and awful stuff. But I would like to see that. I would like to see that with it, like the part where they said about the Budapest and all that in the first movie. I think that's what they said. But I would like to see that. I want to see these two characters in their element, being spies, being assassins, doing black ops stuff. Yes, all the movie, and like in like best example, Captain America: Civil War. How would that went with those two characters in the opening sequence on that ship? How would that have played out if it was Hawkeye and Black Widow? I would like to see that. I think that'd be awesome. But yeah, if they're gonna go with a Black Widow series, I think they should just go with a Black Widow / Hawkeye series. Be great for everybody. I think it'd be awesome way to go. And plus, and again, I would like to see some mainstream characters, whether it be some that's already been presented or some that have yet to be presented. But I would like to, I want them to actually give these two their shine. Because Captain America got his movie, Thor got his movie, Iron Man got his movie, Hulk had... well, we're not going to go with the Hulk. But, I think that the TV series would be a great idea to give both of these characters some shine. So, those are my thoughts on the Black Widow series. And also, lastly, I would like to talk about the next, for the X-Men movie. Should they have the costumes? I talked with Ken and Madam B about this on several occasions. Even on my X-Men, what they could do with, I think, the Break of the Base, what me and Ken were talking about, what they could have done with the X-Men series to made it better, and what they still can do. We brought that up, and in my opinion, should the X-Men have the superhero costumes? Hell no. Do you know how cheesy and stupid those costumes would look right now? I mean, granted, I'm the one who watched Justice League, and I like Justice League, but I liked it because of how, like, if you're going to say, Raph, did you like their costumes? I'm like, yes, and I can tell you why. Because the costumes actually looked presentable. And they weren't like a team, like an established team like the X-Men are, which is why, like, when the new movies, with the movies where they have the little black leather outfits, I'm like, yeah, it makes sense for them because they're actually an established team. So it makes sense for them to have it. Even if you go back to X-Men First Class, like, their outfits were kind of attuned to who they were. Like Banshee, his had the little wings on it so he can fly. You had Beast, his was a bit buffed out a little bit because he was, he hulked out a little bit more. Havoc, he had the little thing right here to help him concentrate his abilities. Like, their suits were adapted to them. So and they were a team, so it makes sense for that. It does not make any sense in the movie for them to be an established team like this and their suits is different like they are in the comics or in the cartoons. And truthfully, most of their outfits don't make sense. I don't care what nobody says. They don't make any sense. They're not tactical or anything like that. You know what I mean? They're not like used to like with their powers or anything like that. You know what I mean? So I've never, for the most of the time, liked most of their outfits, because a lot of times I thought they were ridiculous. Gambit, for you know, he does. Come on now, who in the hell wears that? I mean, I can understand possibly the outer part of his bodysuit. Fine, okay, I can kind of give Gambit the benefit of a doubt, because that one outfit that's on Fallout New Vegas, my character looks badass in it, so I can't say I like that suit and not Gambit. Gambit, I'll give him kind of a pass. Rogue, I think hers is fairly decent. It's not just the bodysuit, and I accept that because it's not just the bodysuit. Storm is like, what does that suit have to do with her abilities? What is it? Jean Grey? Her suit has nothing to do with her abilities. I'm like, why in the hell are you even wearing this suit? It's not going to protect you against gunfire or anything like that. All you have is telekinesis. There's no reason for you to wear that outfit. You know what I mean? Cyclops. I did like the old school, the one that was in the cartoons, the blue and yellow one, and I do kind of like some of the other ones where it's like a full bodysuit except for the visor. Okay, I could kind of give them that. Jubilee, no, I never liked her outfit. I even recently read a comic where she's like older now. It's like 20 years later. She's literally wearing damn near the same thing, and I'm like, that does not make any sense. Juggernaut. That Juggernaut would look dumb as hell if somebody came up with, if they designed that outfit in real life. It does not make, his outfit does not make any sense. I don't care what nobody says. It makes no freaking sense. It never did. This guy with this big old dome on his head, like he's wearing a freaking Coliseum. Come on, nah. Like he's wearing a Coliseum on his head. Come on. It literally makes no sense. What is he? What? Can he do this under there? Is it like, can he even do that? I don't know. How does he like turn around, like his peripheral vision? Come on, now that suit does not make any sense. You could argue Mystique's outfit don't make any sense. Granted, if you want to go with what what she had in the movies doesn't make any sense, okay, we'll just go with that. I actually kind of buy it, because the way the design is, you could say, yeah, the scaliness and all that could possibly mimic clothing. Okay, fine. But what she wore in the car with the whole little white little dress, granted, she was fine as hell. But it didn't make any sense. If you say Magneto, okay, fine. I can get with Magneto. Either the movie one or the original comics or anything. But with Magneto, this ain't something he should wear every freaking day. If he's going to battle, fine, I can understand he wearing it. But it seems like the only person that's casual at all in the entire series is like Professor X. Everybody else just has to have this. Logan, the only suit that I've seen with Logan's suit that looked decent, with two of them actually, was a skit that was Wolverine versus Predator. He looked decent in it. And then there was the design in Marvel Ultimate Alliance 2 where it was kind of layered a little bit. It didn't look like skin tights or anything like that. It felt like it was layered a little bit. And I like that. It's like with Power Rangers. Never liked the cartoon where it was like skin tights. Hated that. Always hated it. Then when the first movie came out and it was armored, the outfit was armored, I was like, yes, you can keep the design and everything, but it looks armored, so it looks tactical, and it makes sense, because if your warriors would just with these powers on this scale, it would make sense for you to wear armored, outfits. Even when it came to the reboots, the mixture between Power Rangers and Iron Man look, it makes sense because it's armored. It makes sense. So, even with Green Lantern, Never liked the cartoon, the comic book portrayal, because it's all looks like a skin type. Now, even though the movie sucked and it did bomb, the movie did give the suit like a glowing look to it, like it was oozing, not oozing, it was emanating that green energy. Made tons of sense. I was behind that, even though people don't like it for it being totally animated. I'm fine with that. X-Men, if you're gonna use that concept, I would do this. I would take a solid color, a solid design, and I would incorporate elements of their original design with it and kind of fuse them together. Yes, have Logan have his traditional look to him, but make it look more tactical. Yeah, put the little leather thing into it, but make it more tactical. Fine. That way you get, it looks like the cartoon, or it looks like the comics, but it also looks like it makes sense for him to be wearing it. Same thing with Storm. The same thing, like if you think about it, what did those little tassels or the cape or anything have to do with her in the movies? Nothing. It didn't help her fly or anything at all. It was just there. You know what I mean? Cyclops, yes, about the only thing that he needs truly is the visor and everything. But I don't want. I'm on the fence about it. Yes, it'd be nice to see some of these costumes, but some of the costumes just completely out there. Don't make no sense for them to even be wearing them. I don't care what nobody says. Pyro doesn't need an outfit. Not like that. You know what? Should I go with Pyro wearing his outfit? Because the movie did a great job of doing the exact same thing, but making it look realistic. So I'm not sure. There are certain characters, yes. There are certain characters, no. Nightcrawler ain't one of them. That's a dumbass looking outfit. I don't care what nobody says. And it wouldn't make any sense for him to wear that. But maybe that's another video where I say costumes that look good in real life and costumes that don't. But anyways, guys, in the comment section below, let me know what your thoughts was on this episode of Streamline. Yes, we talked about the possible sequel for RoboCop, the original RoboCop movie, as well as the Black Widow series, and should X-Men movies have the superhero costumes from the comics. Also, be sure to hit that like, share, subscribe, and the notification button to get the best of what's going on the Narik Chase channel. And remember, guys, Tuesdays and Thursdays, videos will be put up. Some later than others. But anyways, guys, we'll catch you guys later. Narik Chase, signing out.